Hi, folks. Hi, folks. Woot indeed. I'm MC Frontalot. And here's a video game. Fancy looking, isn't it? So this is a Chinese video game that's in early access, although it is, I'm gonna say, slick as hell already. Just really nice piece of software. It's called Dyson Sphere Program. And yet again, I am showing you a video game after I've done most of the stuff that's available to do already, but I'll show you around a little. This is one of those resource exploration, extraction, processing, factory builder games that I love so dearly. Similar to Satisfactory, except curvy isometric 3D instead of first person. Similar to Factorio, except not a flat 2D map. You can, here we see, make the conveyor belts go up and down. It's kind of a real happy medium between the two. Satisfactory, once you've exploited the map, that's it. All the resources are infinite. As they come out the ground, they do not deplete. But here, kind of like in Factorio, you gotta keep expanding because as you eat the coal and iron and copper out of the ground, it is gone from there. So you need a new place. You see, the planets are lovely and small. Here's my starter world, which I've pretty much covered with crap. There's a, what is it, ice giant, I think, that I am rotating around. Let's take a little look at that. Yeah, it's an ice giant. So here we see my solar system where I started. And there is a sun in here. Let's look at it. Whoosh! I built a Dyson sphere around the whole dang thing. It's completely enclosed, and I am harvesting electricity from that, which beams down to planets in my solar system. So, there's 3 little planets here. There's this one, which is a little Gobi, whatever that means. There's a little lava planet over here. And there's my lush satellite that I started on. And splash. Here's like all the crap that I built. And of course you start out like digging resources out by hand, crafting them in your pocket, but you slowly research technologies that allow you to build all kinds of factories, conveyor belts, automate everything. These are the ray receivers that pull energy down from the Dyson sphere. And as you start, you're like, oh, I want to go to another planet. It's so much effort flying around, trying to get to the next planet over here. Where's my another planet that I want to go to? Emptiness of space. And you're just kind of stuck in your own solar system, trying to like be like, oh, I'm out of silicone. I better see if the next planet over has some silicone, and then it does, and you're like, that's so exciting. I'll research the thing that lets the rocket ships go back and forth and automate my transport lines. Maybe set up some gas harvesting from the ice giant next to you. And you're like, that's wonderful. And then you realize you're quickly out of important, more rare resources in your little local area, and then you investigate warping, and that lets you go to the nearby solar systems, of which there are plenty, but oh my gosh, they're far away, so you absolutely can't fly to them. It would take hundreds of hours to fly from here to over here under impulse power. So you research the warping, and you keep some warps in your pockets so you do not get stranded way far away in outer space. You can see all my little transport ships, which are also equipped with warp cores, which I have to keep producing, going to these other planets in other solar systems. So much fun! All right, what were we doing? Oh, here's some nearby planets. Alpha Draconis 1, Alpha Draconis 2, but I only care really. I've pretty much sucked those planets dry. So what do I care about? Alpha Draconis 4. Where are you at? Where'd you go? The more stuff gets labeled on your map, the harder it is to tell what the fuck you're doing. All right, where are you, Alpha Draconis 4? There you are. So let's go back over here. I think I've got a little problem over here that needs solving. So we can do that. You are a folk watching a video game. Crash right into the planets. You are invulnerable. There are no enemies in the game, except for your own CPU, which currently has me stuck at about 25 frames on this planet, but we'll go into outer space where things will run a little smoother. Also, I think I'm costing about 10 frames to stream this like high-res crap over to Twitch. This thing is definitely running smoother when I run it by myself. So let's check what is screwed up. Oh yeah. So I'm running at about, so basically you're funneling all of your resources into power production. The energy you pull out of the Dyson sphere, you can kind of get into more compact and transportable forms, take them out to all your faraway mining planets and burn them there. And then research. So you're making these research cubes, and after you finally get to the white research cubes, you make one of each of the earlier, increasingly difficult research cubes, turn them into one of those, and burn that for research. And then you get the like final kind of infinite researches at the end of the tree. The ones that are important are making all of your mining more productive and making all of your like interstellar logistic ships faster. None of the rest of it matters that much. Once you get your like little building bots up enough, you don't have to fuss around too much with those. You get the power up pretty good. You don't have to fuss with those too much. But these you do want infinitely good, and you can infinitely work on that, shaving 5% off your current level each time. Anyway. So the goal that you kind of set for yourself in these games is how much science per minute can you produce. Everything on this planet is sort of funneling eventually into the science production, with a little bit of it funneling into energy production and making warp cores, or rather changing the energy I'm harvesting from the sun, the local sun, into transportable energy, which will get burned elsewhere. And I've lost my bearings. All this is hydrogen turning into deuteronium. All this is ice fire harvested from that. And that's an infinite harvest off of those gas giants, and ice giants. Turning those into hydrogen and graphene sheets. Blah, blah, blah. There's lots of little components, and they're fun to discover and slowly create production chains. Here's my towers where the purple and the yellow science are getting made. And here's where my problem is. You see some of the top chunks of the towers of green science production are not lit up. And that simply won't do. So what issue do we have here? Well, I see an empty belt, which is this little local robot input having trouble getting enough gravitron lenses. So where we're making those up on the North Pole. Head over there. See what's wrong with our production chain. I recently ramped the science up a bit, so I'm not surprised that something broke. Here's where we used to make graphite out of coal, but we now import it from off the planet. Here's where we used to make diamonds out of graphite, but we're currently making those out of a rare resource that we found on some far outer planets. Pumping it in from elsewhere around here. So what's wrong with the lenses? Here's my little row of lens factories. They seem to have plenty of input. So all that means is there's not enough of them. Well, that's a quick solve. There is one mod you want on this game. I mean, depending how much you love running mods on your games. There's maybe a bunch. But there's one mod I want on this game, and I'm using it. It is called copy inserters. Because, oh my gosh, do you get a repetitive stress injury trying to make a bank of like 100 little smelters or whatever, with 6 little inserters pulling ingredients in and out of them. So we hate that. So we get the little mod that does the thing that the devs have not put in the game yet, but should, and probably will, which is when you copy something, you want the inserters copied as well. So we're gonna make lenses here. We need diamonds and strange matter canisters to come in. Those are both on this belt. Easy peasy. We will pick that inserter to grab them off of that belt, and that inserter to grab those off of that belt. Make sure those are going to go fast enough. We need 4 diamonds. Let's splurge and make the really fast inserter, which, boy, those things are precious in the early game. They're so expensive to make, but now, of course, I just put them wherever I want. And have an output, and voila! Now one of those, 15 of those a minute is now dumping out of this box. You don't have to look at all the labels on everything. But even though it makes it uglier, I'm gonna turn them on. Because it's useful to me to see what I'm doing. So, made a copy. Oh, all the inserters also copied. And let's make some more dang gravitron lenses. What's your problem, buddy? Oh, dear. That is a problem. The grid, as you see, is bending as it gets towards the North Pole, which means my copied inserters are not as useful as I wanted them to be here. Because my shit don't line up. So that's fine, I'll just do them again. One there. One there. One there. And this one I should be able to copy a few times before it falls out of alignment. Was I just making a mistake? I can't tell. Doesn't matter now. Okay. There we have almost twice as many lens factories, which means we are pretty likely to run out of lens ingredients. What are they? Diamonds. No problem, diamonds. I've got lots of diamonds being made elsewhere on the planet and pumped in. But I see that my green canister input is already getting sparse. Hey, thank you for the subscription. I assume Twitch pays me for those. I've never seen them come in. I should probably check on that. If you're an Amazon Prime member, give some of Jeff Bezos' money to me. You get 1 free subscribe every month. Although when I gave my one to somebody, I had to really click a lot of links to figure out how to do it, but it is doable. Anyway, and I get $2 or whatever. I'll take $2. I'm not proud. Fucking basically out of work because I can't tour, which means my Friday afternoon video games are here for you to enjoy. All right. So these things, which are packed up a little too tight together at the moment, are making my green canisters, and they all seem to be running. Their belt input belts are pretty full, which makes me think they are not out of ingredients, they are merely running at capacity. Yeah. Looks like capacity. Its input inserters are going fast enough. not enough of them. So, what do you guys need? You need steel, pink canisters, and deuteronium. No problem. And I need a bunch of miniature particle colliders, which I think I do not have manufacture of those things automated. So how do you make one? Let's find out. Here she is. I have enough ingredients on hand to make one. That's not very many. But the things it needs are all, I think, or mostly, sitting around in my little manufacturing district here. So, did I really not automate this already? I guess I didn't. Yeah, all of the ingredients are here. But I am kind of out of room for building stuff here. But not entirely. So let's do it right here. So, we're gonna whack down one of these bad boys. And we'll tell it what we want in there, which is miniature particle collider. And then we're gonna pump all the crap into the miniature particle collider. Looks like you want one of these, and some of those, and titanium graph sheets, except we want the extra processed titanium chopsticks. Where are some of those? There's some of those coming in over here. So, oh gracious. This is what we call in factory games the spaghetti. So I'm not caring at all what this looks like, just how it works. So let's keep going with the spaghetti. We're gonna steal off of that belt onto this belt. We're gonna take this belt up even higher to get over that guy. Oh, 3D spaghetti, be still my heart. Oh God, what a mess. So let's take it down a level, over to here, over one, go over here, and then drop. And, oh, sweet success. Get our titanium chopsticks right over to the factory we want them in. Kaboom! And what else did you want? Graphene and fucking yellow microchips. Damn it. Alright, where's our graphenes? Seen them a second ago. Where were you? Stupid. I'm thinking with my brain. There they are. They're already getting delivered here by drones. So, you just need to pull a feed of those guys out, which we'll do right here. Whoa, I have 5 of you left. I could go pick some up where they're manufactured, but I'll just make some in my pocket. All right. We want graphene to come out of that hole. Let's bring it over to the range, which is 3 squares. And boom, yank her in. And we still need dang old yellow microchips, which are over there. I already have them coming close to where we want them. Can I fit a belt through you? I cannot. Annoying. Definitely not pulling it out of that mess. So what are we doing? Going around the back? Sure. So, we'll pull it from here. No, pull it from here. Get over to there. Go up. Over. Oh my god, what a mess. And down. And to the destination. In you go. Steal you from over here. Now, I don't really care about throughput on any of these belts in this whole mess of spaghetti, because they only have to occasionally build stuff after I have depleted the existing storage. So, now we have it. This guy is slowly gonna make me a bunch of small particle colliders, and they will collect right here. That was fun. Where? And you know, I could just make some myself while I'm waiting. But next time I need them. They're gonna be prefabricated. Oh my god. No, it is not fun to craft stuff by hand. Emma! Hi, Emma! Thanks for spending your free Amazon thing on me. Appreciate it. Net goth. Ditto to you. All right. And we got 4 here. So, how many of these I got in my hand? 10. How many did I have before I doubled what they needed? Looks like about 16, 20, like 30. I don't think 10's gonna cut it. I think I need like 20 more of these guys. So, oh, well, do I? Yeah, I see that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these guys are not getting fed. The little yellow dot means they are idle for whatever reason. I could just do the math like an adult. So they want one of those greenies, one of those green cans every 6 seconds, except I think that's not accurate because these are at 150%. So they probably want it every 4 seconds. And these guys make one every 8 seconds. So yeah, I need 20. I need about 20 more. How's my fresh little factory doing? 1. Fine. I'll make some more myself. Do 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 do. Now what am I missing? I'm missing you. And 2 more. I'm missing blues again. Blue engines. Give me a few of those. 2 more. I'm missing yellow chips and blue engines. How many am I up to? 5 in the queue, 10 in my, 13 in my pocket, so I only need 2 more, which are here. Okay, great. Next up, Daisy Fuentes. So once you've built your Dyson sphere, which we see over the horizon there, your energy collection coming down off of these guys is free. It's great, you know, don't burn any resources making it, but only slightly less valuable than your CPU and GPU resource in this game is real estate. The planets, as you see, not that big. And I'm spending all this real estate on energy collection. I'm doing it up here near the pole where real estate kind of sucks because you can't build factories. Like factories on the north and south side of the belt are not going to line up usually. So I don't feel like I'm totally wasting that space, but I'm loath to add much more of this kind of energy collection. And the other thing you can do with these is harvest photons into boxes, and you got to use those to make your densest transportable energy. And I was doing that up here, but now I have a whole planet in another solar system devoted to doing that, where I built, or I'm still actually building my ultra gargantuan Dyson sphere. It makes this one, which probably took 40 hours to build, which was automated, don't worry, makes this one look like a little garbage ball. It's so big. I'll show you that in a minute. First, let's deal with our supply line problem. Wow, sail mode. Super hard to fly around sail mode. Let's find some real estate. All right. Seems to be some here. Not being used for anything important. Is there a slot left here? There is, but I think I need 2 slots. So that'll be our output. And we'll run our input up here. Throw down a little planetary logistics station. Give it a fresh supply of little drones. Tell them not to fly around 10% full, because that is dumb as hell. Give it some power. And tell it what we want from the logistics network. So, what did we say? Green... No, we're making green cans. Crap, I've completely forgotten what we're doing. Ugh. Auto sort the inventory, I think, is another mod. Maybe I should get one of those. All right. We want miniature particle collider. Boom. We want it to be making green cans. Great. And green cans have pink cans, iron sheets, and deuteronium. All of those are in the network currently, although I think maybe not a lot of iron sheets. But we'll deal with that problem later. First, we'll deal with this problem. So we'll get those guys pumped out. Tell it what you want, what you really, really want as you're building. Is the game audio in the stream, or is it just me talking over silence? You do get more than one planet. I'm gonna show you in a minute on another planet. Oops, I didn't select the thing. I can select it here. So, there's the things. These set to demand. Which they're doing. There go the bots to go get them. And pretty soon these belts will be chock full of needed goodies. Get that guy right on the belt. Have his pal across the street. We're gonna need some output belts too. And we'll run this business down to where they're gonna go. Back into the logistics. In fact, we want to stretch this whole business down here. You do have game audio. Good. Makes me very nervous not to be able to sound check myself. I feel nervous about audio professionalism. I don't usually, but it's hard to just fly by the seat of your pants. One coming out of the top, one coming out of the bottom. Do I have not have enough slots to do that the way I want. So, going to copy this, delete it, paste it, offset from the other one by 1. Except then now this is... That's at the bottom. Put the other one at the top. Now these are tileable. Okay. Still need some input. Actual. Anybody have a high input requirement? 10 deutronium, yes. So we'll use the fast inserters for that. Deutron, doing the Deutron dance. Doing it, doing the Deutron dance. Yes, that's fine. And make sure that guy gets into there and into there. Make sure the long one goes over there. Is that really going to be sufficient? How many of those do you need? 2 and 2 every 8 seconds. Yeah, that's going to be totally fine. And furthermore, we'll need power, but we'll put that on later. So, with the copy inserters mod, so helpfully installed. Oh, but here we see that problem near the poles, where the belts don't line up like how you wanted them to. Okay. We're just gonna shift our design a little. We're gonna have that guy coming out the top slots. Good. I can make a couple more. Oh, but I can't make my line of 20 that I wanted. Bloody L, as the British say. All right. We're gonna have fewer than 20. You know, same problem there. Let this guy paste. Oops. Paste. Paste. He's gonna come in. Can't tell if this is also gonna want to come in, but I think it is. Pasty, pasty, pasty. And if I want, I can curve this over and do something else with it. But for now, this guy's gonna hop up. Down over here. And you are gonna go into the logistics network, which is going to accept our new remotely created product, green canisters. Lovely. They ain't making none yet, as we still need power. Luckily, we got plenty of room. Sort of have plenty of room. We have barely enough room. Oh dear, here we don't have that. So, what does that mean? That means we'll use the big old powers. Down there, everything's fine. Great. Now you guys are in business. Taking stuff in, spitting stuff out. After you fill your buffers up, I think that deutronium's gonna make it all the way down the line. Yeah, looks like it will. All of you functioning correctly. Looks like you are. Now we want our green canisters to come out of the logistics network and into the place where there's not enough of them. Specifically over here. Do we have any open slots? Yep, here's one. So, green cans, demand them from the network. Spit them out locally. And we will hold them there. Over here. Pop up a little. To avoid intersecting over there. Come down. And don't you know it? And there's none coming out yet. Why is that? Doing that over here, right? Yep, way over here. And there's none coming out because we haven't made 100 yet. And I told the bots not to run around without a full load of 100 objects. So as soon as that does hit 100, we will expect a bot to depart. And he will go help shore up production over there. Which is important, because boy do we need those green graviton lenses. Those run. We need those for building our dark matter canisters. We need them for green research. Everything we care about in the game shuts down when we're short on graviton lenses. So, that is some end of chain shit. And let's ditch this planet. Assuming that everything will be fine. And what's the penalty if it's not? Nothing actually breaks. You just gotta come back and fix it. Some things can break. Like if you have power contingent on stuff coming out of a chain, like you're burning off excess hydrogen, and then like all the power shuts down so you can't make the hydrogen that needs to get burnt. Like you can kind of break chains, but you can also always come back and fix them somehow or other. There we are in our local solar system, which looks like that. And we see supply lines. So our heavy supply lines are going to Zeta Mensae, Canicula, Kappa Hydrae. And there's a black hole way over here. And Beta Cancri over there has got, oh, that's a long run, ain't it? What am I working on? I'm working on veins again, but they just patched a problem today, where if you researched the logistics vessel, those are these guys coming in and out of warp, if you researched them too much, they would like suck all the power out of their base stations before they left, and everything would break and shut down. But now that they've patched that, I can research their speed again, which makes me excited because that means I can more realistically exploit the whole local star cluster. Okay. So, I am aimed at Kappa Hydrae. Don't even really know what's going on over there. I can't remember. But we're going to find out. What do I want to do? Travel there? Under impulse power? Which has me just finally escaping the orbit of the farthest planet from Alpha Draconis. I mean, looks pretty far. Is pretty far. So let's initiate warp sequence. So now I'm in warp mode. Exciting. And they need to solve this business. This is a business that they need to solve, I think. I'm gonna sit up with better posture so you don't have to stare at my giant gleaming forehead. Especially in warp mode, all of the stars smush together and you cannot see what's going on when they're all labeled like that. You can unpin them if you want. And also today you can like add a little arrow that gives you, like helps you keep track of where you're actually trying to go. So let's do that for Kappa Hydra. And now, if I look around, I still always have a line on my destination. Oops, nope, I tagged Theta Fultanus. Kappa Hydrate. Only 4.5 light years away still. And as we can see, I'm fucking booking it. Zoom! Alright, Kappa Hydra. And as you get close to it, you slow down. So that you can kind of aim at the planet you want. But you're still going fast, and it's still easy to miss the planets that you want. Let's exit. So, where are we now? Kappa Hydra solar system. We got some planets. This one has a lot of stone that I could harvest. This one has crude oil, rare things, orgo and spiniform. That's probably what I'm doing out here. This one has fire ice, fractal silicon. Kappa Hydra one has sulfuric acid ocean, which is nice when you find planets with oceans of that and no longer have to make it, which is resource intensive. So let's visit a planet around here. Which one do we like? And oh, our frame rate is 3 times improved. That doesn't look too exciting. Where was the one that had all the stuff? There it is. Kappa Hydra 2. And in fact, we see our logistics vessels all over it. So the fastest I can go is 2,000 meters a second. And we see, even with astronomical units instead of light years, they are going down slow. So let's just warp again. Why not? I've got like 100 of these warp cores in my inventory. But if I ran out and I was like between planets somewhere, boom, I would reload. Because you would be like Sandra Bullock in Gravity, fucking stranded in space. You can see where you want to go, but you can't get there. Unless they rewrite the ending of the movie to be less depressing, which I think they did. Don't you think in the first like 15 drafts of Gravity, Sandra Bullock just fucking dies? I mean, there's just no way that she doesn't die in that movie. What are the odds? So what are we doing on this planet? We are pulling raw iron ore. We are pulling organic crystals, which will run out, I realized. If I wanted to make this playthrough last forever, I would not use any rare resources because they're all like pretty limited, and you can only research your extraction efficiency down so far. Ooh, power load's 88%. Well, we don't like that. Especially because look how low and slow the recharge is. We want to jack that recharge up to 300 megawatts, which means we want to get some more artificial stars. This is the best, most powerful generator you can learn how to build in the game. And it generates 75 megawatts. Gosh, what a lot that is. And it slowly burns through these antimatter fuel rods, which we're generating back on the home world and sending out to our little mining colonies here. So now this planet has 300 megawatts. Let's give it even a little more. You're never really wasting burnable fuel because the burn rate scales with demand. So why not? Just overbuild a little bit. All right, now we got plenty of energy. This thing will fill up at an appropriate rate. else we got on this planet? Crude oil. Just look at the summary. Ugh, I'm mining iron off a planet that only has 6 million? I'm gonna need more iron colonies soon. Obviously. And this planet is not that exciting to look at because it's exactly like the one we just left in terms of biome. So let's... Oh, I'm pulling something off of 2. What is it? Let's find out. Vroom! Ooh, well, I've got quite a lot set up over here on this lava planet. So what am I doing? I'm pulling titanium, putting them into a local logistical network, no interstellar traffic, pulling all the titanium ore into those things. How much iron have we got on this planet? 65? Maybe I'll pull some from here. Already got the network set up. Seems convenient. Oh, I'm also tapping frickin' copper ore, putting that into the local network. And then, as we see, it all comes out, gets smelted into all these copper sheets, and those go over here for interstellar travel. So go back to the homeworld. As you see, there's 5 ships in the queue en route to pick up. What do you call it? A Ginny? The buffer is full. The tower's full. Now it's filling up again because one of them came and grabbed. So it'll keep filling up. Oh, another one. And just as soon as one grabs, as long as there's any white bar left, another one will queue up to grab it because it seems like I need a lot of copper back home. I may need to build more. So I'm smelting titanium on this planet and copper. And I could pull iron ore on this planet too, but as we see, my logistics vessel count is pretty low. Which means I don't think I want to tie up more logistics vessel traffic with iron ore. But I can just build another one of those things. Everything's cheap now because I'm in the end game. Just make whatever I want and not manage my resources. My non-expendable resources all that carefully anymore. You guys have enough energy? Let's plunk another just for kicks. Oh, love that copy inserters mod. Okay. And you're jacked up. Proper. How many of them coppers or irons are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're in like the 4 to 5 million a pop range. Let's do it. Let's do a few. These lava planets are kind of ugly. I prefer the deserts or the prairies or the ocean jungles. There's all ocean worlds. Those are actually kind of nice looking, but you need a lot of soil building resource handy if you want to build there, because you got to raise all the ground yourself. Oh, I only have 3 of these guys. And no little... Oh, I have no little robots. No little drones on me. Well, I cannot get very far on this project without them. Do I have anything in my pocket I could build with? No, I can't even make one. So let's cancel that plan. There are... Iron is one of the most prevalent resources in the universe, according to this game. I do not have to do it here. There's no particular reason to, except that the logistics network is mostly already set up. But I want to build another interplanetary station. Yeah, I need local drones before I can do this project anywhere. But I should come back and do it here, probably. Because I already have so much infrastructure set up. Power run all over the place. There's local drone hubs all over. Yeah, I'll come back and do this here. I just gotta remember. Kappa Hydrae. The wettest frat. That's my mnemonic device. Let's see what else is going on. What's going on Gamma Libre? Should remember, I think I've recently built over there. Jammy Jam, thank you. Iammy Jam, Lammy Jam. Lowercase and uppercase letters. Causing confusion since the invention of dual register typesets on terminal displays. Alright, Gamma Libre. What is happening here? Let's come out of the world. Take a look at our solar system. I'm going to chew my stupid nicotine gum on the feed. Even though I realize that's something that a ruffian would do. A cad. Chew gum right into a microphone. But you know, mama needs her drugs. So, Gamma Libre. Nothing happening there. Nothing happening there. Nothing interesting there. What am I doing on this little star? I'm probably pulling Orgo and Spiniform from over there. Do we see any evidence of that? What about this one? That's a nice giant. And that's a little lava satellite with plenty of iron. So, which one did I like again? Oceanic Jungle Gamma Libre 3. See what's happening over there. I think I very recently developed over there. Look at all the traffic going between Canicula and the home world. I really love the scale of this game. I love the little tiny planets that you can always see the curvature of the horizon. I like going around in space. It just all feels very physical while still being super cartoonish. Was it 3? Obviously it's 3. I just saw a vessel come out of there. I got 11 warps on me. Ah! Boom. Crashed right in an interesting spot. So here is a ton of graphite getting smelted. Energetic graphite, which is an ingredient that goes into those graphene hexagonal lattices that we saw. And it takes coal. And I don't know if it's the luck of the draw or if it's always like this, but there's not that many planets out there with huge amounts of coal. It's kind of an early game resource. You burn it up on your homeland and then you stop needing it so much by the time you run out. Because you can make energetic graphite as part of the oil process. Like you can crack the oil into parts and then you take the gasoline and some hydrogen and you can turn those into extra hydrogen and some of this. So, and the oil is infinite. Like every oil node that you tap spits out slowly but consistently oil forever. So that's the way to get it. It's sort of a free resource, but that production chain is so big and annoying that for now, I just found a planet with 50 million coal on it and built a big-ass bank of these smelters. And that's where my graphite comes from now. I'm also pulling some of this rare resource, spiniform stalagmite crystal. And this planet's so pretty. It's so nice looking. You could, if you you wanted, just like go up to the North Pole. That's what I'm gonna do here. And just hang out. Look at the sky. Watch the traffic as the horizon shifts. Now, if I were pulling solar power on this planet, I would need to know things like the rotational period, the orbit inclination, and the axial inclination of the planet, because these things tell me, like, how effective it might be to have a solar cluster at the North Pole, right? Like, how long does your polar day last? All these, there's like so much little, like, fun stuff you can kind of micromanage and optimize. Or if you don't want to, you can just kind of slap some stuff down and it'll work as well as it works. You could throw a ring of solar around the equator and like half of it will be turned on at all times, right? I like games that sort of have a lot of figuring out you can do, but it's not absolutely mandatory. So like, as fun as you feel like it is, that's how much of it you do. Well, I like that kind of game. Oh, pretty. It's pretty. What if I just want some of this? Yep. I can mine one at a time. Anyway, that's what this game is like. It's pretty fun. I'd be down to play it a little more, but is there something you guys want to see? Tell me in the chat. Yeah, I turned the music off on this game pretty early. It's not bad. It's not like a bad soundtrack. Any game you play for like 100 hours or so, you get sick of the soundtrack, or I do. Or I tend to. Oh, I remember that time when I hit, or that moment when I hit like saturation on the GTA 3 radio, or actually, this has happened in each GTA game. I play it so much that I've like heard the whole loop on all of the radio stations enough times that I'm like, all right, that'll do. I'll do, pig. Watch that nicotine spittle down with some cold coffee. DSR. I think you are the black hole. Let's just go look at it. I don't think I'm mining anything at the black hole except for unipolar magnets, maybe. Actually, maybe it has one planet with like all the rare resources on it. So I'm probably mining all of them there. It was definitely like the first place I went. When I got confident that warp wasn't going to Sandra Bullock me. So I wanted to see what it looked like. It looks kind of cool. And then I know where we'll go after that. We'll look at my gigantic Dyson sphere in progress. And then that'll be enough. We're passing the neutron star. We are headed to DSR. 39 light years. Have I targeted it correctly? Good lord, that's far away. Let's use the new targeting feature. I still can't easily tell which of these things is the thing I want. Yep, it's that one. I'm aimed at it. And just appreciate our star cluster and all of its logistics traffic. Lemon Knee Zeus wants to know, what's the crake? Is that a video game term? I don't know. What's a crake? Yeah, this game is clearly modeled on Factorio. They even took most of the base recipes from Factorio, like how to make the green microchips, like the ratios, the objects, the production chain, all that stuff, like straight out of Factorio. If I were Factorio, I'd be kind of mad. It's China versus Prague in a factory game showdown. But also, they're very different games still. Like, Factorio is literally infinite. All of it, from extraction to production, is more complex. But this game's a lot prettier. And they also solved the inserter thing, I think, in a great way. Where you do not need, like, a free square on the map to drop your inserter. They're tethered to the belts and the buildings that they're coming in and out of. So you just kind of drag from one to the other. It's much more pleasing to build. Satisfactory does away with inserters altogether. Like every building that makes or consumes resources has belt input. Probably the next time I do this, I will play some Satisfactory, because I believe, if they stayed on schedule, that the new patch is out, which has all kinds of new crap in it, including gases, and I think my like mega factory is probably broken because they rewrote some of the recipes. So, what a good reason to go play a video game. You broke my save. I have to fix it. Here's a little Hothy planet. And on this planet we have fractal silicone, optical grating crystal, and unipolar magnets. Unipolar magnets are the super rare resource. The thing you can make out of them currently is not that exciting, so it's fine. Excuse me. Let's turn that off. Boy, that little Hoth planet spins fast, don't it? So I saved my game and I tried to fly into the black hole. Because I was like, what happens? What happens when you fly in a black hole? Is there actually a way to die in the game? Because that would be a good candidate for how to die. Fly directly into a black hole. But the answer is no. Your mech is real well constructed. Ooh, the sound of the black hole is kind of wacky. Were I the devs, I would do something even cooler when you fly close to this black hole. Like, just bend the shit out of time and space all around me. Maybe they are doing that. Oh my gosh. I just went through the whatever that is. I wish I could build something here. What if I try to put an orbital extractor down? Nothing. I'm still in sail mode. is you can't actually get close to the stars or this black hole. Well, you can't get any closer than I just was. Sort of on the surface. Now, let's see how hard it is to escape the gravity of the black hole. Not too hard at all. What a fantastic mech I'm piloting. All the bells and whistles. All right. Kank something. That's where my big Dyson sphere is. Let's just use the new feature. Okay. Let's find the thing we want on the big map. There it is, Canicula. Let's point an arrow at it. And there's the arrow. That really is quite nice. See there, that is the little marker I want. And let's go. When you start out, before you've researched the engine upgrades for the logistics vessels, they do this warping from far distant parts of the cluster to others, even slower than you do. Which means you really have to like start out grabbing stuff from the nearby stars. Otherwise, like if it takes 10 minutes for 1,000 iron ore to get to you, then it's not super useful to be harvesting it out there, because by the time it gets to you, you've already run out of your buffer of 10,000 that fit in one of those hubs. And I'm still having that problem a little bit with some of the stuff, even though my vessels now go, I don't know, almost twice as fast as I do. But we're gonna research next. More rockets. Power. Speed. Come on, Canicula. What is happening, my Irish friend, is that I am procrastinating on some important work I gotta get done this afternoon by playing a video game. And furthermore, I convinced myself that if I play the video game in public, then that's somehow more valuable than just sticking around by myself, and therefore less a shirking of my other responsibilities. That is exactly what's happening in my emotional world. Just at the moment. Alright, we're almost at Canicula. Oh, I love the nav. I love the nav upgrade from today's patch. I love it when I get into a game and it is under very active development and there's some new reason to play every week or so. All right. Look at that Dyson sphere. Here we are at the edge of it. it is a lot bigger than the one on my home planet. And we can see it coming to be. So it is so big. Whoa. Press that button then. It is so big, as we see, that the closest planet to the star is inside of the sphere, which rules for a couple of reasons. Specifically, you don't need to worry about where you're placing the power collectors. You don't need an atmosphere on the planet to spend gravitron lenses to bounce off the ionosphere to always have access to the Dyson sphere, because you just, from any angle on the planet, always definitely have access to the Dyson sphere because you're in it. So that's vital. And I discovered that by accident, although I would have learned it if I'd read about this video game before I started playing. Oh, I bounced off the planet. Let's try harder to land on the planet. There we go. And we're back down to garbage frame rates. So these guys are pulling electricity. This Dyson sphere is making 121 gigawatts. If you say it like Doc Brown, you have to say gigawatts instead of gigawatts. As we all know, I'm pulling down however many of them, that little row, large row, however many this ring pulls. That's how much energy I'm grabbing for industrial use on this planet. I'm at, oof, looks like I need some more of them. I don't need them yet, but I don't like to get that close to. Everything starts to run slower if it's underpowered, of course, and we can't have that. So, why don't we plunk some more of these bad boys? Happen to have a bunch in my pocket. And these will, as long as they have a 100% view of the Dyson sphere, which would change if they were, say, on a planet that only saw it during daytime, then this continuous receiving bar will go up and the max output will go up until it maxes at 12.5 megawatts. So a few more will help a little. I could do more, but it wasn't an actual emergency. Over at the South Pole, we have a huge number of these rail guns, which, during the correct orbital moments, will shoot at the target point on this orbit, which is also inside the sphere. They will immediately assign themselves to one of these unbuilt chunks of the sphere where they go and slowly fill in every little pixel, one per solar sail. Building the solar sails on the homeworld, shipping them here, shooting them out of those guns. When these guns run out of view, which this guy in shadow is probably the closest to, when that pitch angle gets out of its working range, then it can't shoot anymore. But at that point, the cluster of them on the other pole will be in range, and they'll start shooting, and there's just as many of them at the other pole. So there's constantly this much solar sails, traffic shooting off the planet, landing up there, and spreading out in a beautiful mathy pattern to the places where they are needed. At the same time, we see that the support structure for the Dyson sphere is still being built. Like, this one has it built at the corner. Like, that line is not all the way built yet. That one's not. This one's not at all. And these other guns shoot up the components that go up and build each little tiny, tiny chunk of the support structure. And those are also being manufactured on the homeworld, shipped over here. Now these guys, and there are plenty of them, they are all pulling from the Dyson Sphere's power. They are only managing to pull 14 gigawatts out of the 121 available. And that Dyson Sphere is like nowhere near done. See all the cute patterns I built? I think it's gonna look cool when done. And they are all yanking 5 little boxes of photons out a minute, shipping those home to get smashed into hydrogen and antimatter, which goes to fuel research and to build the antimatter fuel rods. So those things come over here, go straight home, along with some other resources that are moving around in various ways. And here we see that I ran out of time and patience for making new manufacturing areas for these, the green engines, on the homeworld, so I just found a place with unlimited free energy and a large supply of iron and copper, and I built the chains, all the things you need for a bunch of green engines, which I ship home. Now, I'm running out again, so I'm gonna have to double this here or find another planet to do the same thing. These are the giant ejectors that take the small carrier rockets and go up there to build the framework for the Dyson Sphere. And then here's more guns. And here's a patch of iron and steel and stone brick production, which is what makes these Windows logos, which are foundations, which I used to pave over this whole dang planet because I did not care for the lava. It's too dark. I can't see what I'm doing. So I just paved over the whole motherfucker. Planet pavement. I left a little lava pool here. It's kind of like a hot tub. In case my mech is feeling like a cool guy who wants to hang out in the lava. You can't actually hang out in the lava unless you run out of fuel. If you run out of fuel, then you will land in the water or the lava. But again, it won't harm you in any way. I tried to run into a black hole. You think a little lava's gonna fuck with me? Here I drew like a baby space invader. Why'd I do that? Well, I don't know. Got a little boring paving over the whole planet. And also I noticed halfway through that project that if you go away from a planet, oh, my Dyson Sphere is going to be cool looking when it's all filled in. It's got so many little patterns and mosaics on it. But anyway, when you go away from, that's a bright ass star. When you go away from a planet, where's the planet? There it is. You can still see the pavement patterns that you made on it. They go into the texture. So there's my little space invader. And somewhere else on this surface, there's something else. That thing is in a fast ass orbit. There it is. My initials. I put my initials on it, just like you would do if you found some wet cement. Anyway, that's Dyson Sphere program. I don't remember what it cost, but it was like $30 at most. Strong recommend. It's on Steam. If you like this kind of game. If you don't like these kind of games, avoid it, because boy, is this one of those kind of games. Thanks for hanging out on the stream and for subscribing. And if for some reason you wanted to watch this again, I will stick it on my YouTube where I stick all my old Twitch streams. I think the thing to search on YouTube is MC Frontalot plays video games at you. All right. Peace.